Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the first live stream of November in 2025. We're on the 2nd. Today is also the time that daylight saving time has ended, so we're back in Pacific Standard Time over here. Unfortunately, that is kind of thrown into a weird spot the way the time shows on YouTube, but I'm sure they'll fix that soon. Regardless, though, let's focus on the main topic today, which of course is going to be the Metroidvania tier list update. We've got only 2 games to update this time in terms of new games that I've played since the last update. However, there's going to be a couple of other games I'm going to change their position around for to account for some updated sentiments around those games. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get started. Hey, what's up, Shock? Yeah, we've got 9 souls and Ori 2 to rank. We're going to start with Ori 2. That's the game that we played in the blind race. I haven't played this game on my own yet, so do take that into account, guys. But that being said, I mean, I think without trying to be laborious with my explanation of it, this game is definitely without a doubt one of the best Metroidvanias I've played. Just stands out in terms of the visual presentation, the quality, the polish improved from the first game. The general better focus on the combat while not interfering with any of the great exploration that the game had in the first game prior. And in general, I think everything like flows together much better. It just goes to show how much the devs have matured in their gameplay style and their visual style, etc. coming from the first game. And obviously, it is worth taking into account that this game came out after Hollow Knight, so of course, because of that, they decided they wanted to incorporate some Hollow Knight inspirations into their game, which admittedly aren't fitting in the most natural way, but thankfully doesn't interfere with anything they've sought to accomplish already. So that's my like summarized feelings on this game. Now, where is it going? It's definitely going in upper echelon. I don't think I'm gonna place it higher than the games I already have in upper echelon, though. Maybe just higher than Harmony Dissonance, but that's about it. All the other games in upper echelon really do stand out, but Ori 2 is definitely among them, I would say. Now, one thing I do want to try to reevaluate when I play this game again is how well integrated the quote-unquote optional stuff is. Hard agree, Will of the Wisp is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one thing I want to reevaluate is how well integrated the optional stuff is, like within the areas, because that's definitely something that I didn't get the full sense of when I did the blind race. But I don't think it would significantly impact my viewpoint on this game in any way. But again, like just the fact that this game has much more polished combat, has actual boss fights, has still some fantastic escape sequences, still has great integration and focus to the exploration, and also the fact that it's a little bit less linear. You can choose the path you want to go on, and within the areas that you go in, there's a lot you can do in those areas in terms of discovering the path and stuff. It's all fantastic. In fact, I think the main thing this game I would give as a negative for is just the fact that, once again, it's short, but I don't think being short is a bad thing if your game is good. It's really I really only complain if a game is short if I end up enjoying it, right? So that to me says that it's a good game. But I will say that there's some like isolated moments in the game where progressing is a little bit pace breaking, a little bit unintuitive, or a little bit unusual from like other parts of the game. For example, there's some parts where you gotta figure out a puzzle and then they tell you like, hey, reminder, you have this capability in your inventory or within your tool set. It feels kind of unnatural. Like the fact that they feel the need to remind you of that might indicate that the organic language of how you're supposed to progress the organic language of how you're supposed to progress as it is communicated within the game naturally is probably not done in the most elegant way. Like that they feel the need to like give you that reminder, right? It is a little bit immersion breaking, and what's involved for you to do itself is sometimes some kind of pace breaking, because sometimes you gotta wait on a lot of cycles. Sometimes you have like an invisible wall, or you have a breakable wall, that you gotta look for or whatever. Sometimes the Very rarely there's like a small backtrack you have to do to grab an item and then place, like, it's like the key fragment or whatever. You gotta go grab it and then place it in the door or whatever, you know. But I mean, those things are not only infrequent, but they're also like not, in the grand scheme of things, they're not like the most negatively impacting on like the overall like flow of the game, like progression wise. Hey Robo, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Yep, we're just trying to get this tier list updated with some of the new games I played. But yeah, Ori 2 just fantastic. Like, I think, especially in the landscape of modern Metroidvanias, a lot of modern Metroidvanias don't really seek to like try to, you know, change the narrative or change the overall formula. Like, they don't try to like look at how things can be done in a more refined way or try to like add their own flair or touch to how things are already done. But Ori definitely like stands out, sets itself apart, not just in like the visuals and all of that, but just in terms of the already like fabulous progression abilities they had from the first game. And they're all like given to you like back to back, like very early on, so you can already feel like the power of having like lots of movement options available. It's awesome. Really fantastic game. I actually kind of wish I could rate this higher, but I really do feel like Upper Echelon has got a ton of bangers, so it's gonna be hard to compete with those in my opinion. But by no means is Ori 2 like it like genuinely, guys, like it's just like look what we have in Upper Echelon. Like it's just stacked, you know. I mean, yeah. But anyway, all right, and then Nine Souls. Nine Souls I finished very recently. I finished on Friday. I enjoyed this game a lot, but that being said, and to my surprise, by the way, but that being said, this game is not really a Metroidvania. Here we go, yeah. This game is not really a Metroidvania, right? So it's worth taking that into account when we're ranking it in a Metroidvania tier list. Now you're probably wondering, why am I even ranking it in a Metroidvania tier list if I feel like it's not really a Metroidvania? Well, here's the problem. A lot of people regard this game as a Metroidvania and incorporate it into the discussion of Metroidvanias whenever it comes up. I think r/souls like also discusses this game quite a bit, which makes more sense to me personally, but regardless, because of that, unfortunately, we'll be going on this tier list. It reminds me of a video I watched ranking all the MMOs that are ever released, and it's like backed by science or whatever. If you guys haven't watched that video before, I'll put a link in the description later on, but it's from Josh Strife Hayes, and he aggregates all this like data from MMO YouTubers on the top 10 ranked MMOs they had from their video, or top X ranked MMOs basically. And some of those videos didn't have games that were relevant to the MMO genre, such as like Dota 2 and League and Overwatch and all of that, right? But they were still integrated in those videos, so we had to put it as part of his like top MMOs ranked backed by science, because it was like part of the data method that he used for his video. So anyway, that's kind of the same unfortunate philosophy that we're adapting here, because people talk about it in the Metroidvania context. Unfortunately, we'll be ranking Nine Souls here. Regardless, that being said, ignoring the point that this game is not really a Metroidvania, this is a fantastic game. I found it to be very enjoyable. Now, it's worth mentioning that, like, I already gave my full spiel of thoughts yesterday, or not yesterday, on Friday. So please do check that stream. I timestamped it with the verbal review part as well, if you want to go back and look at that. But I'll give like a high-level summary of my thoughts again right now. This game has kind of bland exploration, like nothing really like exciting, like, you know, or that unique, to be honest. Like it's pretty much your standard, like, you know, in between, like, you know, like if you're playing a Souls game, it's your standard like intermediary section type of exploration. In fact, I think Souls game explorations themselves are a little bit better than what Nine Souls has. Nine Souls is pretty much you're going in a straight line within the area. You venture forth, you find a dead end, you look for the part where you unlock the shortcut, you hack it, you do up, down, left, right, then you unlock the shortcut, then you go back the way that you went originally where you met the dead end to go past the shortcut that you just opened. Then you fight some more enemies, maybe you fight a mini boss, maybe you get to the save point. Like before I said all of that, you get to the save point that gives you like a progression ability, like, oh, I can double jump now, or, oh, I can bounce on these green circles that they put, and then you go fight a boss eventually, right? Well, as you get deeper in the area, you fight a boss. You get the soul seal, and then you go to the next area. They tell you where to go, right? Like the flow of the game is very, it's very one-dimensional. Like it follows like a very strict pattern, and that pattern does give a sense of comfort because you thankfully won't run into anything that like tries to troll you or surprise you in that way. But at the same time, this game's exploration is not anything like special, right? It doesn't stand out. But I think where this game does stand out to make up for that is in the combat and in the overall like gradual progression of your character in terms of strengthening, right? I think the best way to describe it is like the scaling of your character's power. As you start to get more and more combat capabilities, you start to feel like the combat becomes more and more cohesive, and it starts to feel more rewarding to be able to use all the different types of combat mechanisms that your character has available. Like, you know, getting more upgrades on the arrow is fantastic, always feels good. Getting the Tai Chi kick is amazing for combat scenarios, especially when you're forced to use it on the rushing attacks, basically. I think also when you get the what's it called? Wow, why am I blanking on one of those? The super parry. When you get the super parry, you know, that allows you to like see previous attacks in a new way, because, you know, previously the only way to deal with those attacks is by dodging, which is not the most interesting or entertaining, right? But then by getting the unbounded counter, which is what it's actually called, it gives you a new way to deal with those attacks and see how you can fit in or squeeze in like more damage where you previously couldn't. So all of those things definitely provide like the exhilaration, the thrill that you'd want in an action platformer. And I think that's where this game really excels. And for that matter, like this game really tries to sell you on the boss fights, and I think it does that overall quite well. When I did some more reflection, like I feel like the fact that there's only like a few bosses that were really underwhelming, and the remainder of them were quite excellent for that matter, really goes to show that the devs put in like careful, deliberate effort into making sure that the player feels as rewarded as they can possibly feel from the additional combat capabilities they get, from getting more ingrained with like the gameplay system and such. Like it starts to actually feel like a proper, like high production quality action game. And I think the first like climax of that is definitely when you fight G, for me personally at least, and then it just carries that momentum forward all the way to the end of the game with the final engagement with Aegon. But even the bosses before that, like the Feng twins, the fight with Jiechuan, and some of the other boss fights as well, like definitely have their overall like peak moments. They're not as like those fights aren't as like overall solid like throughout the whole time, but they do have like high highs that I still think allow for the combat of the game to shine. And even a boss like Lady Ethereal, which is a little bit of a drag when you're first learning it, I think still presents some level of like rewarding feeling after you clear it. And because it also has its own like, you know, like isolated set piece to go with it narrative wise, I think that does allow for it to be more memorable than it would otherwise be, especially since it does appear that they deliberately made the design to be a reference to, or like not a reference, like an homage to Nightmare King Grim in the Hollow Knight. I haven't fought that boss yet, but I'm aware of how that boss is. So, but yeah, lovely game, excellent game. I mean, just like beyond the combat, like the visuals and the style are just fantastic. Presentation's awesome. I love the way it incorporates like the manga style cutscenes for major boss fights as you're about to fight them and as you defeat them. It really sells you on the fact that, like, you know, like it's a dramatic moment and you took them down, you know. It allows those to be even more memorable, and they don't like overuse it, they don't overdo it. You know, it's easy to rely on that type of thing if you know, especially if you feel like you're going somewhere good with that, you know. It's easy to just like kind of depend on that and use it multiple times, but I think they did a great job of like using those moments delicately to allow for them to have the utmost dramatic effect. The quest and the quest lines also felt natural. They didn't feel like, oh, go fetch me this, come back here. Like it actually felt like they were a natural part of, you know, you're playing the game and you're doing other stuff, and it's like, all right, as part of this quest, you hand them over the item, and you know, you get more interactions with them, you build a stronger relationship with them, you get to see more dialogue with them, all of which felt like genuinely added more color and depth to like the narrative component of the game, which otherwise would have been lost because of the vast amount of dialogue the game has. I'm glad also that it wasn't necessary to read all the item descriptions in order to get a sense of what the story is all about, because I felt like I had a general understanding of what the story was, and by the end of it I felt somewhat invested, which is not something that I normally experience, especially with games of this kind, that is the Souls-like style of game, you know, where they seem to be deliberately trying to make the narrative as cryptic as possible, where you have to really study, really pay attention like to the backgrounds and see all these like objects there. It's like, oh, this object on the ground at this spot means that thousands of years ago the ancestors walked here and, you know, were slain by like another alien race or something, you know, like like those lore videos go into detail with, you know. It's just like, I'm not a fan of that when the game like is trying to be as cryptic as possible, because it feels like a kind of lazy attempt at a delivery of a story, where they could have easily just gone with the show and don't tell type of storytelling and get as much out of like the delivery as they would be able to otherwise, while still letting the player be fully immersed and ingrained with what's going on. So yeah, that's how I felt about it. There were some other things I forgot to mention on Friday that were worth mentioning, like quality of life wise. This game, I mean, it's kind of a shame I'm mentioning this as a quality of life thing, but this game has like basically no runbacks for the major bosses. I mean, some of the mini bosses have like maybe like a 10-second or 15-second runback at most, but like even those like never felt like those were like just like wasting your time. Like those felt like it's fine, because from what I could tell, they tried to really go with like the Souls style level design, where they have like one save point and then they have like a billion shortcuts that lead back to it, or lead back from like points of interest. Like all the points of interest were all close to the save point, so it never felt like you were doing any laborious exploring that was like unnecessary. You could always get to where you wanted to go relatively quickly, at least once you got the ability to teleport between all the save points, because that is something worth mentioning. This game doesn't actually give you the ability to teleport between all the save points right away. It waits until like, I would say, first like 8th of the game, let's say, like maybe 8th or 6th of the game, before it gives you the teleport ability. Maybe, let's just say the first 6th. But yeah, the fact that it kind of waits a little bit to actually give you the ability to fast travel between everything, I guess to some degree it communicates how linear the game is, but also I just feel like it's an unnecessary like gap between like making the game feel like a proper interconnected world and making it feel just like a linear action platformer, you know. But yeah, I think again the shortcuts were well handled. Everything was close to, like everything as in every point of interest was close to where the save point was, despite there usually being only one save point per area. And the runbacks basically were non-existent. Like the longest runback I can remember is the runback to like the mini boss I had the most difficulty with, and like even that one was like maybe 15 seconds at most. And I'm not always worried about the time. I'm worried about like the precedent represented by the runback usually. But again, like because the shortcuts were always like there presented for you right where you'd actually want to go, like, or where you'd actually have to redo the section or redo the traversal every time for that point of interest, then like to me it was well understood, like they didn't mean any harm with anything. So there was not like an ill precedent anywhere with that. And for like all the major bosses, like the save point is literally right next to them. Maybe the longest, I don't even know, like I'm trying to think, like I think the only time there was like an actual long run back was perhaps for I was gonna say I guess the Fung twins, but yeah, I mean I think the Fung twins might have been the only long one, because you have to like go past a couple of those infected enemies, and you have to walk into the door, and then you have to do a little bit more sprinting. That might have been the longest one, but that one also felt fine. That felt like a short like Dark Souls run back, and the short Dark Souls run back is like really short when they decided to make it short, you know. If I think back to Dark Souls 3, but anyway, point being, they were nice with that, so I'm glad. Fung Twins runback is like 10 seconds. Yeah, and even that one is like not that long, right? So that might have been the longest one, if, from my recollection. Yeah, other things that I think I forgot to mention. So, okay, it was at the tip of my, it was at the front of my mind and I forgot. I was thinking about runback. Like, these things are like so easy to like, oh, okay, yes, the mapping. The map actually expands as soon as you enter like the point of interest within the area that the game detects. So you actually have full like vision of where you can possibly go based on how the map displays it to you as soon as you enter like the point of interest of an area, which to me, like, that's fantastic. No need for a map guy, no need for like some auxiliary currency for you to like maintain and keep throughout the game so that you can have access to like basic exploration features and stuff like that. Like, yeah, those things are just so easy to go unnoticed when they work properly, but I did want to mention that and I forgot to on Friday. But beyond that, like, I think having, by having that in the game, it lets you know as well that like they want you to focus more on like the idea of like combat and like winning your way past enemies rather than like having to worry about exploring to the unknown. However, the game does have corpse running, and that, to me, this game, it felt fine. But I think the reason it felt fine is because this game is so linear. And that's like the same feeling I have with like Souls games when like I'm like, Souls games have corpse running. I don't like corpse running either. But in those games, I'm okay with it still. And it's because they're linear games. I think in games where like it's a proper Metroidvania where like there's expansive paths you can go on and you're not sure which one will be the one that leads to progression, I think that's where it starts to feel like, okay, corpse running is just a distraction. It gets in the way. But I think in this game, it felt fine. Now, mind you, in this game, it's even more punishing than it is in something like Hollow Knight, because you lose all the experience towards your next level, towards your next skill point, that is, and you lose all of your money. And money gives you a lot of useful things in Nine Souls. I mean, besides the fact that it gives useful things, like, forget about the fact it gives useful things. Money is oftentimes able to get, like, make the game easier. Because you get, like, more healing, you get more items, which can give you more health if you give them to the respective NPC. You get more jades, right? Like, these things make the game easier. And if you're not able to keep the money, you're just like snowballing into the game becoming harder and harder. So I think that idea definitely is interesting by itself, but again, I don't think anything that this game focuses on clashes with the idea that clashes with any of like the negative effects that corpse running might have on a game like this. So it's worth mentioning that. What else? Yeah, I mean, this is a parry game, but it's not like parry slop in the sense like you're just playing a rhythm game. I think they really designed the movesets of bosses in a way that made it such that you can integrate everything cohesively together with your parry. And parry is just a means of protecting yourself from dying, rather than it being like, this is your only way to hit the boss, you know? And if you don't parry stuff, then you can't hit the boss. It's not like that. It's just to protect yourself from dying. Because technically you can just apply damage as much as you want. You can hit them with the normal attacks, you can hit them with the charge attack, you can hit them with the talismans at the opportune times. You can use your ammunition on arrows. If you have any other jades that allow you to access different sorts of resources at different times, then you can make use of those more to be able to benefit from that. Things like that. Like, again, like, everything is just well integrated combat-wise to allow for you to not be playing like just a rhythm game with the parries. But the better you get at parrying and the better you start to apply all the countermeasures in their respective situations, just inherently the game allows you to get in the flow and becomes a lot easier in that way. But you have to design it in a way that's conducive to it, which they certainly did. For the bosses, at least. I think for the enemies, I mean, I think a lot of the enemies were definitely kind of boring. But they're also quick to kill, so it's not like they're a nuisance. There is a difference between like enemies being boring and enemies being boring and tedious. Like, I know like tedious is kind of a synonym to boring, but Like there's something like, you know, if an enemy like has a lot of health and is not very like what's the way to say it? Like it's not very engaging to fight it, right? Then you're just encouraged to just skip it. And there are a couple enemies like that in Nine Souls where like it's kind of no point in fighting them because you can just skip past them and they don't give that many rewards anyway. But there's also like no harm, like there's no like annoyance in killing a lot of enemies because you can just kill them quickly anyway, right? So yeah. All right. Anyway, with all that being said, again, if you want to hear full thoughts, check the verbal review from the last VOD of the playthrough. With all this being said, so again, because this game is not really a Metroidvania, I can't rank it as high as I'd want to. But it is still going to go in enjoyable. Where exactly in enjoyable it's going to go here. And I'm sure this is a much higher placement than a lot of you would have expected. But I do feel pretty strongly about this. I don't think a lot of the games in enjoyable stand firmly in their Metroidvania aspects as well as Nine Souls stands in what it does well as an action platformer. And it's certainly fair to say that this game has Metroidvania influences or Metroidvania inspirations incorporated into it, but something having Metroidvania elements in it doesn't make it a Metroidvania. It's like something having RPG elements doesn't make it an RPG either, right? Or something having, I don't know, what's another good example? Like it's I mean, at the end of the day, genres are all like kind of arbitrary anyway, right? So it's just a method that people use to communicate more quickly with each other on the nature of a game. So it's certainly fair in that regard, but I still feel like Metroidvania doesn't describe this game well. It's definitely like a Souls-like 2D action platformer, right? But yeah, regardless, that's where I'm gonna place it. Yeah, you said it before, awesome game, but not really Metroidvania, so it doesn't do Metroidvania stuff all that well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if it did do it better, there's so many ways it could do it better. Just having better, like having more interesting progression abilities, having more interesting like discovery of the routes for exploring the areas and stuff, because the areas are just literally straight line. I mean, people think that, oh, if you gotta go open a shortcut before like going on a diverging path, then it's non-linear. That's not non-linear, that's still linear. If that's the only path you can go, that's still linear. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna place Nine Souls. Fantastic game. It's kind of a shame that this game wasn't as much of a Metroidvania as I would have hoped, because then it would definitely be going much higher. But maybe it's for the best as well, because a lot of what this game ends up doing well is because it doesn't try to focus too much on the Metroidvania parts. But like, again, it makes up for it in other stuff. So that's the excellent part. All right, so now that we've ranked our 2 new games that we played recently, let's go ahead and update some other games that I've had updated sentiments on. So there's only 2 games I have an updated sentiment on, those being Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow and Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Order of Ecclesia I did another playthrough on Dominic's Collection extremely recently, but we'll be going over that one second. Let's go over Dawn of Sorrow first. Dawn of Sorrow, I think I've been too harsh on this game. I mean, I mentioned numerous times in the previous updates that the final boss really soured my sentiment on this game quite a bit, but it's probably not fair to like knock this game down so far just because of the final boss. Because I mean, this game, aside from the final boss, is still really, really solid. I do think it's one of Igarashi's best works to this day. It has a lot of issues, mind you. It doesn't necessarily do everything that Igarashi does in his formulas in the best way that he's done it before, but I don't think it's fair to like say that the final boss erases all of the merits that this game has. Like, let's say that, you know, if this game is like a 9 out of 10, I'm not saying it is, but let's say if this game is a 9 out of 10 and the final boss is so bad that I would regard it in isolation or in a vacuum as a 1 out of 10, then, you know, we can say that because the weighting of the final boss is not relative to that of the full game, we can bring the game down to like a 7 or a 6 out of 10. Like theoretically, right? Like if I were to see it that way. But with that in mind, because so many other parts of the game are so well handled, like it's literally a more polished Aria of Sorrow. If we want to look at it just from a mechanics perspective, the more polished Aria of Sorrow. And for that matter, it's just more Aria of Sorrow. And I think Aria of Sorrow is just still the best Metroidvania I've played. I think it's important to take that into account. However, I do think Dawn of Sorrow still lacks in the openness of its exploration compared to Aria of Sorrow. Like it's still like a wonder to explore the castle in Dawn of Sorrow, and especially like discovering what new enemy souls do in terms of adding to your combat abilities. But there's some things like the bat movement being really weird, and the overall progression abilities themselves not being like as compelling as Aria of Sorrow itself. Like, you know, having like the time stop thing be the thing, it's basically just a key, right? And then also like flying armor is a lot cooler than I think the game itself gives credit, and I would have wished they made use of flying armor more as a requirement for like getting through stuff. To be fair, Aria of Sorrow uses flying armor in a similarly limited way, but has other like great progression abilities that make up for it, in my opinion. Like Skula and Undine are super interesting in their dynamics and how they interchange with each other with respect to like how you decide to navigate the castle and stuff. And the water areas are actually interesting to navigate. Whereas in Dawn of Sorrow, like I don't really think I can say the same, you know. And it's just a pain to use the bat in Dawn of Sorrow because it's so slow and weird. It feels like you're flying through like glue or something. But regardless, with all that I've just said, Dawn of Sorrow will be going up here. I know I made it seem like, oh, it's gonna be like, you know, top of upper echelon, but you know, that final boss really does bring it down. Like, unfortunately, like you gotta realize, guys, like first impressions or final impressions matter as much as first impressions. You gotta have something that lets the player leave with like a smile on their face, or lets them leave with like fond memories of having played the game. If you're just gonna like be like, oh, we did all these great things, we put all this great effort into the game, but then you know what? The players played the game this far, they'll be tolerant of anything that we put in the final part of the game. We're just gonna leave them with some garbage, and you know, who cares? They'll like the game anyway, right? If they made it this far. I don't think that's worth doing. If you're gonna put in all the effort, you might as well like close it out as strong as you can. Like it doesn't make any sense to me to slack on the final part of your game, you know. And the other thing about Dawn of Sorrow that makes me feel like less great about it, even though the souls are more balanced, I personally do not like that Panther is something you have to farm for, compared to like the moment where you get like Black Panther in a RSR feels so good because you can just like move. You can just move so fast, you know? It's like your reward for getting through all the game. Like you've done the hard work of like navigating and routing and traversing through the castle. Black Panther's like your reward at the end of the day, right? But in Dawn of Sorrow, you still have to farm it from an enemy. And by the time you farm it, like you don't care about it anymore because you're already basically done with the game. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate. But it's still a great game. And again, in most of the important regards, Dawn of Sorrow does improve polish-wise on Aria of Sorrow, especially with like the quality of life. Like you get access to the DS-Vania features that were added, like with the ability to switch between the map and showing the enemy data on the screen. You also get the improved hub area where you get access to a new feature which allows you to synthesize weapons with enemies. Enemy souls, that is. And you can also like free enemy souls if you don't care to have them in your inventory. Great idea that they definitely incorporated. The fast travel is a lot. Well, okay, it's not really more frequent, but I feel like it's actually closer to points of interest in Dawn of Sorrow than it is in Aria. Like Aria, the fast travel is there, it fulfills its purpose well, but it's still pretty, like you still have to kind of do a lot of manual traversal in that game. But in Dawn, like the fast travel is really, really nice. It actually like saves a lot of traversal time. Yeah, like, oh yeah, the other quality of life that they improved upon is the ability to hot swap inventories, which that was like the main issue with Arya, where when you get Undine and Skula, you have to constantly open your inventory, unequip, re-equip, close the inventory, you know, swim, do your swimming. Then if you want to switch to Undine, open the inventory again, equip Undine, close the inventory, you know, stand on the water, do your thing, open the inventory again, unequip Undine, and back to like whatever other thing you wanted to equip, close the inventory again, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. And it's really annoying to do because you have to do it really often, especially when you're doing your first playthrough. And also there are a couple times where you're not sure whether you're not sure what kind of loadout you want to have, right, for a certain section. So opening the inventory again and not being able to have like a backup inventory that you can just hot swap to makes it really tedious. But again, fixed in Dawn, so it's clear that they knew and they got to work on addressing that, so that was great. Yeah, the Dominus Collection really enhances the experience of Dawn of Sorrow, so if any of you have yet to play it, definitely recommend playing on the Dominus Collection along with the other DSvanias on there, because that's definitely the best way to play the DSvanias right now. But yeah, those two. Oh, okay, not those two. I didn't do Order of Ecclesia, but that's Dawn of Sorrow's updated ranking. Yeah, alright, now for Order of Ecclesia. Oh dear. Yeah, like, this game is just really rough, I think. Like, it's a fun game. It's still like a fun Igarashi experience, but I don't think it's a great. I don't think it's a like amongst the other Castlevania games, I don't think it's that terrific. Like, honestly, what I would say right now is that I feel like it's my second least favorite Castlevania Metroidvania game, behind Circle of the Moon. And you guys already know how I feel about Circle of the Moon. So Order of Ecclesia, like, just replaying it, and like, you know, on the Dominus Collection and stuff, just feels like it's too linear. Like, there's not really any exploration. And the parts where you have to actually like go and backtrack to, you know, gain progression and stuff, it's like random secrets that they decided to be required. Like, you know, having to find the villager behind the breakable wall, you know. Well, like, that's the main thing. But I mean, there's a couple other things too. Just some like parts, they're just like, oh, the player surely will figure it out, like what to do. And yeah, I don't know. Like, beyond that, like, the progression abilities themselves are pretty lackluster. Like, the double jump is definitely the most compelling progression ability that you get. But then beyond that, like, okay, Magnus is cool too. Like, I'll admit, Magnus is also cool. But Magnus, they made the unfortunate decision where you can only use it on the magnet points. So it's like just not interesting when you can only use it on what they decide you can use it. Now, of course, Radira exists in the game as the best kept secret in any Castlevania game, honestly. And it's unfortunate because I think that is like a really cool idea to expand upon the Magnus ability that they could have put as like a proper progression ability, but they decided to hide it behind like a load of like random secret walls and then make it its own area. It's just unfortunate. The fact that the balancing is also just weird. Like, they decided to make Netesco like just by far the best glyph in the game, and Igarashi like really tries to make sure that you get Netesco because like there's like a billion of the Nova Skeleton enemies once you get to the specific area that first introduces them. He like really wants to make sure that you get it because there's like so many of those enemies on the way to, you know, making it further in the game. Yeah, and it's just so strong. It makes every other glyph, like, I feel like the whole point of Order of Ecclesia was, you know, you have the player switch between the glyphs that are good against like certain enemies, and you know, you hot swap them with the glyph sleeve and stuff, which is a good idea for sure. But then when you just like ruin all of the effort you put in to that system by just putting in like the best in slot glyph right in front of the player's feet, and you know, design the rooms accordingly in such a way that, you know, you really want the player to make sure they don't miss it, it's just like a little bit silly. However, I will say one great thing about Order of Ecclesia, I like the way they integrated some of the glyph farming. They do it in a way where, depending on the move the enemy uses, you're guaranteed to get the glyph if you pay attention, instead of it being like just a random chance to drop. I do think it's a lot more interesting to make it like, oh, you wait for this enemy to do this move, and if you hold up during that move, then you can steal their glyph, and it's really cool. That's definitely a great integration that Order of Ecclesia had. But other knocks against Order of Ecclesia, the side quests are really bland and uninteresting. They're all fetch quests. They're literally like, it's almost like Silksong like looked at Order of Ecclesia and like just copy pasted to their game, because they're honestly just as bad as Silksong's fetch quest in my opinion. Yeah, and there's just not really any like motivation to like revisit previous areas apart from these side quests, apart from potential glyphs you might have missed if you're really interested in getting 100% glyph collection. Maybe there's like a specific area you didn't get with your, you got the double jump and maybe you got a new item or whatever shortly afterwards. So, you want to go back to a previous area maybe just for that. But even then, I don't really feel like it's that interesting to do it. You're not really motivated to do it because you just go through one area, then the next, and the next, and the next in a straight line, So there's only like 1 or 2 real times you're forced to backtrack to get a couple of villagers. And some of them are just super dumb secret walls that are extremely questionable in a game that came out in like 2008, I think it was. So it's unfortunate. Not really something you can intuit either. They're just like some random breakable wall in an area that you might have overlooked or something, so it's yikes. Beyond that though, the level design, room design, and arrangement of enemies is, I think, a little bit uninspired and quite poor. One of the worst in any Castlevania Metroidvania game from my recollection. Maybe the only other game that is as bad as Circle of the Moon, but I mean, again, how do we rank Circle of the Moon, right? So yeah, but it does have some modernizations that were adapted from the previous, or adopted from the previous Metroidvania Castlevania games on the DS. So, it does have the map markers, it does have the screen switching with the enemy data and the maps. Although, again, because you're going in a straight line, you might not really need the map that much, theoretically. Like, you might use the map a little bit to just see where you're going, but then after you, like, you're just, like, going between each room, you're peeking to see if it lets you move forward and stuff like that. Yeah. Strong point about Order of Ecclesia, maybe the bosses. The bosses are all pretty cool, except for extreme outliers. Let's put it that way. There's some extreme outliers that are like absolutely obnoxious, like the crab boss. Even after you discovered how to fight that boss, it's just time wasting. It's just a cutscene. You hit the boss, you go up, it's forced phases and all of that. Yep, crab boss indeed. And it's just a pain. And then Eligor is also just like a cool concept, but implemented poorly. Like the fact that if you get knocked in a certain way, you can be sent back to a previous phase is just so dumb. I don't know how they were thinking that was a good idea. If they just allowed it so that you can't go back to a previous phase after you've cleared it already, then I think it would be so much better. That's on lowest lows and highest highs. Yeah, exactly. It's just it's got really cool bosses like the shadow guy, I forgot his name. Death as well, as you said. I think that's the best death fight, or one of the best death fights in Metroidvania Castlevania games. Yeah, it's got those fights and they're really cool, but then it's also got Eligor and Crab Boss, so pretty yikes. Yeah, and flight in this game is pretty yikes as well. Feels a little bit out of place for a Castlevania game. It feels like a fan-made ability, It's not as natural, in my opinion. Regardless, though, this game is still pretty solid, but it's not the best, in my opinion. So, where do we put a game that's pretty solid but not the best? We put it in decent. Unfortunately, that means it is going in decent. Now, it is going in the top of decent because decent does have a lot of games I did not feel great about, and Order of Ecclesia I do feel like is a great deal above them, but this is where this game will go. So yeah, guys, this is the update of my tier list, Metroidvania tier list. 1.5. Save that. And there we go. All right. So now we've got 9 Souls boss tier list. So just one moment for me to get that up. Okie doke. This looks like a good template. So, 9 Souls boss tier list. So let's name these. It's gonna be I guess top. Fun. Solid. Okay, fun is probably not good enough. Maybe not fun, but like maybe this should be solid. Do solid. Decent. Mediocre. There's only gonna be one mediocre fight, so don't you guys worry. All right, let's start from. Okay, I don't know all the bosses' names, but I know what they are, so don't worry. This is the first boss in the game. Solid. Gave me a good impression in the beginning of the game. Like, it felt exactly like a Souls boss. I was hoping that the game wouldn't go in the direction of being like having the parry be like a mini game where you're just like memorizing the timing based on the attack patterns, but thankfully the rest of the bosses in the game did not follow along that path, so I'm glad they didn't do that. And they allowed this boss to like stand out in the post reflection as well, because this boss definitely incorporates patterns that allow you to focus on like how you analyze the enemy's moves and looking for those opportunities to still get attacks in. So yeah, lots of fun. All right, this boss is like I guess this is like the boss version of the mini boss that you fight at the top of so there's like the far western area of the map, and that's where you go fight the guy that controls the machine. I forgot his name. I think Yang Lao is his name. Yeah, there he is. But basically this is like the boss version of the mini boss that you fight over there. And you fight this boss inside of Lady Ethereal's dream world, basically. Yeah, so you know, yeah, I didn't like this boss, but I think it's mainly because like I already fought this as a mini boss, right? So like I wasn't really seeing anything new. The only new thing really was that it like summons like a shadow ball that turns the ground, like the ground has like moss or whatever, I guess, and when the shadow ball goes near the ground, it turns into spikes. So that's definitely like an annoyance. But like, I don't know. This boss is not really, I don't think it has anything else that's different apart from that. Actually, the other thing about this boss, it doesn't spawn enemies, unlike the mini boss version. So I guess that technically is better. But again, like I wasn't really too enthralled by this one. Oh, they include the mini boss here. I guess this one includes mini bosses. Okay. Well, the mini boss version is the same thing, but you know, like it's like both of them or whatever. I mean, okay, if we're including mini bosses, I feel like I would put these in mediocre, honestly. I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, because I didn't expect this to include mini bosses. Fine, we'll put them in mediocre. All right. Wait, what's the difference between these two? I don't remember. I think maybe this one is the first one you fight, and this one is the second one. Okay, I don't really remember them, so I'm just gonna assume they were decent. Yeah, I guess this one is decent too. Like, okay, like again, I didn't expect there to be many bosses in here. Who was that? I'm trying to like squint at like the image. I can't even see who that is. Okay. What? Okay. So is that Kongwei in the background? Maybe. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't rank that. I don't remember. All right, Agong. Agong is the best boss in the game. It's like needless to say, right? Like some of the most well-designed patterns that all like serve a purpose, not just in isolation, but also in tandem with each other. Like each pattern actually reinforces one another and allows you to see like what you can play around, because there's always a way to play around the respective versions of the same so-called pattern. So I think it is a really great culmination of everything you've learned in the game up to that point. You think that's the spear guy mini boss in the factory before Jichuan? I see. Yeah, I literally do not remember this at all. But I like mentally I wasn't prepared to like recall any mini boss because I wasn't thinking about ranking them. But that's fine. I just won't rank it then. Yeah, I mean Agong is awesome. Like I could go on and on about how great of a boss Agong is. I think even if you put this boss in the middle of the game, I think I would still say it's fantastic. But just for it to be like the culmination of everything that leads up to the point of the game, I think it's a great climax that they decided to leave for the end. Nothing is like really absurd for this boss. Everything's very reasonable for what you've seen up to the point in the game. Just takes a little bit of time to understand how the patterns work and stuff and how they play around each other. But apart from that, like it's just great. And I think it's very satisfying to look for those windows and moments where you can land pretty substantial punishes on her. And that's something I always like in action games, when you can just apply damage without it feeling like you're just flailing, but you're actually like looking for strategic opportunities to apply the damage as part of your build. So yeah, lots of fun. Not much else to say. I mean, the arena is sick as well. It's like a dome, you know? It's like a track. You're playing like a track, but instead it's the stage that was set a while out in the game. It's that tree that you walk into, like, or you walk by early in the game, and then you walk into for the finale. All right, then we got G, or not. No, this is not G. This is Feng Twins. Okay. I was whining about Phase 1 just being a little bit boring, but after some reflection, I think it's fine. This boss is pretty fun. I mean, Phase 2 is way more interesting. I still feel like if they found a way to like make, I think her name is Nuwa. If they made a way for Nuwa to like attack maybe infrequently or use like weaker attacks or something during Phase 1, I think it would have made it a lot more interesting. Because Phase 1 really feels like an early game boss to me, but still, like, overall this boss fight is interesting. I will definitely say, like, when I watch my boss fight back against these two, I definitely feel like having the stun arrow made it like a lot easier, because the stun arrow, I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's called Cloud Piercer, but basically you use that and it like it staggers what's his name, Rusha. I don't know how to pronounce the name, like Rusha or something. It staggers him, and it allows you to like more easily deal with like whatever pattern that Nuwa put out. So that definitely made it like easier for me when I was doing my clear, from what I noticed. But like beyond that, like, it's definitely a cool boss. Having a dynamic of a 2v1 is definitely always interesting in a game, and I think they did it in a way that wasn't like egregious. Like, it wasn't anything like Twin Princes, how I thought it was going to be. Like, Twin Princes, like, they revive each other every time you kill the one, and just ends up being like kind of a little bit of a party game. But this one I think is a lot more interesting. The better Twin Princes, in my opinion. Okay, then we got Gomong. Yeah, Gomong I wasn't very impressed by. I think the fact that she doesn't do anything is just kind of sad. Like really all there is just like, you know, you hit the 2 servants that she has. Like, I'm saying servants, but obviously, guys, I mean, come on now, we all know that it's worse than that. But anyway, you hit the 2 servants she has. Like, if you bring one of them down, she comes out to, like, you know, knock the sense of reality back into them so that they can fight again. But then when she comes out, that's when you gotta hit her, right? Like, that's when you deal damage to her actually, and it just feels like a mini game. Like the things that you're actually fighting don't really feel like that sophisticated, which I guess is the point. And it still technically is an early game boss, so I guess they didn't want to go too overboard with that. But feels like they could have done a lot more with her to make her interesting, without, you know, making it like with still making it like reasonable for the point in the game that she is in, right? So anyway, I do actually remember this guy, and yeah, I'm not even gonna say much. Like, it's just boring. Jechuan, yes. You know, so I wasn't very impressed by him after I fought him, especially given that, you know, your first engagement with him is like scary, you know? Like, you enter his domain and then he just like bodies you. Like, when I went up to where he was, like, he taunts you to come over, and when I went up to where he was, he one-shot me. Like, I didn't even have time to like process the fact that I was in a fight with him. Like, at that point, like, when you meet him the first time, there's no like HUD, so I guess it's expected that you die. Like, it's like a forced death or whatever. But like, it's still like a scare, you know? Like, I feel like the narrative setup for him is a lot more grand than the actual boss fight that you get to do with him later on. Like, it just doesn't match up to me. Feels like they dialed back to make sure that it still matched with like that point in the game, which to me feels like it has a bit of a disconnect with like the narrative setup, you know? Because he one-shot you earlier, but then when you actually fight him, it's like kind of whatever, you know? I guess part of it too is like he's overdosing on these drugs, so I guess, you know, like it's representative of that a little bit, but still. So he's gonna own decent. All right, next we got G. G, lots of fun, lots of fun. My favorite boss at that point in the game. Again, the impressions were deceiving. I thought it was gonna be like a party game where you just like pick the pattern and then does like some random nonsense, but no, actually very cool. And there is like some consistency to what types of patterns he does, because he rotates through them like in a pretty like not, I don't want to say consistent, but it's like a there's like a stable method to like how he rotates through the patterns. It's not like he's just like throwing out random stuff and then you gotta pick or something, you know? And learning the parry timings and learning where the projectiles can come from as well is like very satisfying, because again, not quite a mini game. You still have to figure out like how to incorporate applying damage. Feels like a marathon of a boss fight, so it's excellent. All right, then we got Kongwei. Worst boss in the game. Spawns enemies. Doesn't do anything. Sometimes it summons spikes on the ground and then they disappear, and like that's about it. Like, that's really all it does. It just spawns a bunch of enemies. It's an AoE check. All right, who was this? I don't remember. Okay, we're just not gonna rank that. Lady Ethereal. Very unique setting that this boss presides in, and the boss fight itself takes place in. The boss is definitely interesting, to say the least. I wouldn't say I had the most fun fighting this boss, especially phase 1. Phase 1 is just kind of a formality. And then phase 2 and 3 are like where the actual interesting things happen. But I don't know if I'm a fan of the Shadow Clone stuff she has going on, because to me, it seemed random, like whether you'd actually be hitting her or not. And it also meant that you're never really sure when you're gonna get like a tremendous damage opportunity. So the fight kind of felt like a slog, but I don't think she's mediocre. I think she was decent, probably just above Gomong. All right. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna forget this mini boss. This mini boss is obnoxious. Oh my goodness. Okay, but I think primarily it's because of the lack of clear communication on how you play around like basically the random shadow clones. Like sometimes this mini boss like will just do like a string of attacks, and then if you like try to attack it, it'll like disappear, or like it'll do like an input read and dodge or whatever, and then it'll go away and do its next set of string of attacks. It just felt like there's not like a solid method of like applying damage to it. Like you really just had to wait, and everyone here knows that I hate waiting. And yeah, this boss is a lot of waiting. This is one of those bosses where it really feels like you're just playing reactively, like just waiting for it to do something, and then you hit it a couple times. You do the parry, and then you decide like, oh, I'm gonna do the parry, and then I'm gonna apply the damage here and now, right? But then it just like disappears into the shadow clone. It's just so annoying. This was the soldier. I can't remember his name, but this was the soldier. I think it was like Shang. I can't remember the name, but anyway. This was not great, and it was presented as a major boss. So, I didn't rank this guy, but I'm not gonna rank him as a mini boss. Yeah, I did not really like this boss. Would it be decent or mediocre? You fight it in like an enclosed space, and it summons like a bunch of these like crimson bombs that I don't believe you can parry. So you have to really like find the space and in the really small boss arena, and it's not really that sophisticated either. But I don't think it's mediocre. I think it's probably decent. We'll put it here. All right. I don't remember this. What? I probably didn't fight this. All right, Yang Lao. Oh wait, no. This is not the first boss. Oh, darn. Okay. Aha. Okay. So everything I said was for this guy. All right. Well, Yang Lao. I don't know. Like, I feel like the fun part about this boss was like just like piling on the damage, but not necessarily the patterns. The patterns weren't like that interesting. I'll put it here. Like this boss is like just okay, pretty much. Yeah. All right, well, I mean, that's all the boss I'm gonna rank. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, like this game has like really high highs, right? And don't be alarmed by the fact there's so many bosses indecent. I think, like, I don't think that ends up being that bad of a thing. Because, like, it's a pretty steady build up to like the highs, you know? So, all right, but yeah, we're gonna save this. All right, and that's that. Okay. So, the last thing that I have listed on our title is the next blind playthrough. We're going to spin the wheel. We're not going to actually start the blind playthrough tonight, but we're going to spin it to determine which game we'll be doing next. And then we're going to be spinning it again to determine the game that will happen after that, so that we can do 2 in 1. Because this is the first time we had a 3-way tie. But yeah, after we do the wheel spin, I'll take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to play some Bloodstained Rando. Alright guys, so that's the plan. Let's go and do the wheel spin. So, the next 3 games that had a 3-way tie in the poll were Umihara Kawase, what's up Red Rage? Umihara Kawase Fresh, Bastion, and Tomb Raider 2013. Let's give it a spin. So this is to determine the next game we'll be playing. Here we go. It is Bastion. All right. Umihara. All right, so we can remove Bastion. Bastion will be the game we'll be playing next. And now to determine the game we'll be playing after Bastion. Bastion, let's go. All right, so it'll be Bastion followed by Umihara Kawase Fresh. Excellent. So I'll make note of that for myself. And yeah, we'll be starting Bastion during the week. So look forward to it, folks. All right, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna play some Bloodstained Rando in preparation for the marathon next year. See you guys in 5. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Let's boot up Bloodstained. Okay, there we go. Sorry, just getting some last things set up. Okay, okie doke. Let's do it. Oh, come on. There we go. I was like, is my controller really not plugged in? Yeah, we're just doing marathon prep. Most of it I'll do offline, but we're not going to be starting the next blind playthrough game today anyway, so I might as well just do this at the end of the stream today, right? Let me switch controllers actually. 1 second. This controller is like the right bumper is like a little bit worn out compared to the other one I have. So for this game, it becomes a little bit weirder to backdash. There we go. Does it work? Got to relaunch the game. I'm gonna have to relaunch the game, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh. Just not being detected in general. That is so weird. Why is it not being detected? Oh, wait, what? What? Oh, it's because my other controller was still plugged in. I see. Okay, I see. It, like, not plugged in, but like still connected. So it was using wireless mode after I unplugged it, and I have to like manually turn it off for it to be detected properly. So that makes sense. All right, we should be good now. Or not, because I'll have to replug this in. That's funny. Yeah, there we go. Wow. Thankfully, this saves at the beginning of the seed, so I just have to do this all over again. Oh, Zangetsu right away. Let's go. Valkyrie Tiara. Okay, okay. We're talking. Yeah, since we already found Zangetsu, we can just now look for dimension shift and be done with the seat. Or not be done, but like, you know, be in go mode. We still need to find, hopefully, some healing. That would be nice. Or some mana regen. Oh, I already... That's the breakable wall that I already did. Which was on the lower platform. Wait, the sound is too high, isn't it? I thought I turned it down, but should probably be 30. Wait, why is it so loud? That is so weird. Does it not actually like turn it down properly? Okay, no, it's just like the sound bouncing is bad, I guess. I don't want it to be too loud. I think it was too loud last VOD. Alright. Wait, do I have a tunic already? I think I do. Oh, I do, yep. And a ring. Ooh, starter belt. Do I have a ring? I do not have a ring. Okay. Well, if I find one, I would love to give it to her because I want the strider belt.
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
Okay, maybe that's too low. I'll turn it up. Oh, there's the ring.
Here's what
That is certainly what we're looking for. Oh, you know, I think it's just loud for that specific boss, maybe. Probably what it is. 'Cause, yeah, that is so weird. That is, like, that loud. Galleon map.
So, what'll it be?
what would you like to buy?
So...
What would you like to sell? Is it leisure doing? There you are. Is this right? Oh, is it? Oh, thank you. Oh, what would you like to buy?
Waystone, let's go.
Is it? There you are. Is there you are? Is this right? Leisure doing business?
Oh, Alcahest as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Love to see it. Alright, so we'll be buying some Alcahest.
Is it? There you are. Oh, welcome.
We're not gonna quite check the dismantling right now. We're just gonna go do the first quest first. Oh, is that 100% drop rate on the rat? No, okay. Tis Wraith. Okay, now let's check this.
What are we transmuting this time?
No. Dismantle. Fried fish turns into all of this, which includes oil, which is great. We need oil for fried potatoes. Can't remember if we need halite as well. I think we do. Oh, okay. Macoweedle turns into Sharer and Caladonda. Both of those are good, actually. Ape a coin from Ulf Barrett's sword. And ambivalence from the whip. Wow. Well, we need more Alcahest for that, but I think we should be able to make it with some of the shards that we just dismantled. So first I'm gonna go do the first side quest, which is kill a couple of the I forgot what they're called, but the big guys from the area to the left. Make some money.
would you like to sell? Is this so?
I'll keep
Is
that
it
for
here?
now, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
It's okay. It's
What
not
would you
that
like
bad,
to
you know.
buy? Is it here you are?
And I'll come back to the crafting shop once we have a little bit more alkahest. We still need to farm the bone morts, so I guess I'll do that right now. Gold bullet. The bone mort does so much damage. Scary.
Predictable.
Oh, accidental parry. Okay. Killing it in style. You got the flame whip from him too, so I wonder what that dismantles into. Getting alkahest and seeds definitely changes the potential of what you can have in your inventory quite a bit. Oh, the katana hitbox is so bad, especially for these tiny codes. Definitely nice to have one of these purple shards down, the Blood Grinder Knight. We don't have to grind it later. We still have to grind the Plume Parma and the Toad for now. That's a good one. That's a good red shard. That's the rando. Ow. Meanie. I'll give this guy the waystone so I can get some money. I was thinking about it, but, you know, I think in this seat it's definitely worth it. This is the Alcahest. Shortcut, boo. Oh, first try, first try. Okay, not the best purple shard, but it's not terrible. Okay, come on, invert. Show yourself. No. Okay, well. Might have to go back and farm those plume parmas and toads. We'll see. I'll take care of it when I make the full loop, though, because I have to go back to the hub anyway. Actually, should I just go back right now? Let me get the warp and go back, because yeah, I probably should do it before, because I can get the side quest now that I've beaten Zangetsu, the new side quest. So I should probably do that before I fight Craftwork, so that I can at least potentially get some of the side quest progress done on the way back. I can just warp back. It's okay. Waystone is faster, but it's alright.
Here's what I've turned up on the good work. Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
Do I have a ring now?
Here to plant something.
Let me see. I do. Let's go. Let's go. Strider belt.
What are we transmuting this time?
Okay. Let's see. What are we transmuting this time? Okay, let me go to the shop first.
Oh, what would you like to see? Is it leisure to here you are? Is it cold? Here you are. Oh, what would you like to buy? Is it here you are?
So, what'll it be?
Yeah, we can get ambivalence. Let's go. Oh, I need one more outcast. No. Oh, it's not even the... Oh, no, okay. Well, I guess I can't know which ambivalence it is, but I'm interested in seeing regardless. Okay, let me check the normal craft shop, though. Oh, over the rainbow. Easy.
I'll go with this.
Best in slot, whatchamacallit.
I'll go with this.
Scarf. Dragon shoes. Ooh. Joyas. That's the highest tier one, so that's pretty good. Prismatic heart. The mid tier one. Red Beast Edge. Mid tier. Black Dragon's Ode. Ambivalence. Okay, well the shop is good. But the stuff craftable with 8-bit coin. Oh, Mistletoe. Okay, I don't know. It's okay. It's not like bad, but I mean I could just get the 8-bit coin. Where was it? Which one? Wolfbeard sword for 6 alkahest. That's a pretty good deal. I'll get ambivalent still, just to see.
I've learned the truth about your slumber, Miriam. As I suspected, it was Alfred's doing.
Oh, what would
let's
you
see.
like to sell?
What would you like to sell? Culverin.
Is this right? Oh, thank you. Oh,
All right,
what
let
would
me
you
buy
like to buy? Is
alkahest.
it leisure doing business?
Why am I
So,
still backdashing?
what'll
I
it
can
be?
just slide. That was the whole point of going through the trouble of doing that. It's okay.
I'll go with this.
It happens. Alright, let's see. Is this the good ambivalence? Oh, it's the worst one. Get bodied. Get bodied. Okay, let me see if I can still craft the higher
What are we
tier.
transmuting this time?
Wow. You know, I got bodied. I got bodied. Maybe I should have made a save before doing it. If I wasn't sure. You know? Oh, I can still dismantle this into 8-bit coin. Not bad, honestly. Not bad. Well, I'll go ahead and do this one in 8-bit coin. Wolfbeard sword. Might as well do that one instead, right?
Often.
Wait, let me see if I can sell ambivalence and still, like, kind of not lose money, you know?
Oh, what would you like to sell?
Oh, I can't sell ambivalence. Bummer. Okay. That's okay. I'll make the money back somehow. We'll still switch to it, because I like the weapon, but, you know... Unfortunate. I'm still backdashing, by the way. No Zangetsu. Oh, we already have it, so I didn't need to check this. Forgot. Have it, you know. But at this rate, we probably have to farm the plume farmers toads. Oh yeah, I have to farm this guy too. Let me farm him right now. Okay, there it is. So we're in go mode. Excellent. Well, in that case, well, I'll still fight Craftwork just in case he gives Accelerator. But in that case, we don't need to be doing anything else that I skipped, which was Toad and Plume Farmer. Shards. Let me just put that on right now. Ah, come on, stop bothering me. Oh, there's Craftwork is vanilla. Bloodringer, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna Waystone.
So, what will it be?
Need to buy Alchemist.
Miriam.
Oh, what would you like to sell? Oh, what would you like to sell?
I can sell crystal, so cashmere,
Is this all? Thank you.
so
Is
silk.
this all? Thank you.
All right,
Oh, what would you like to
there we are.
buy?
There's the money.
It's a pleasure doing business. Oh, what would you like to buy?
Okay, there's healing too. Definitely
Is it
buy
here
that.
you are?
And there's ethers.
Is this all? Thank you.
I'll go ahead and save, and then yeah.
What are we transmuting this time?
Let's see, Oof Barrett.
I'll go with this.
And then anything else? That's a pretty good value one. 16 Alcast for it. Oh, Halite, yo. Cost only 1? Yo.
I'll go with this.
Alright, let's go. These things take time. Wow. Okay, I'll just craft rice.
So, what'll it be?
I'll go with this.
Alright, that's good enough. Now we can buy 1 billion rice balls.
Oh, what would you like to sell?
I don't need diamond.
Is this Carl? Thank you.
I don't think I'll be using 16 Bitcoin either.
Is it Carl? Thank you.
The profit is unreal, you know?
Is it pleasure doing business? Is this wrong? So, well, is it Carl? Thank you. Here you are. Oh, what would you like to buy?
71.
Is this Carl? Thank you.
Oh yeah, change this to... Oh, I never bought the Outcast. Wait, so what did I just... What did I just craft then? Okay, I meant to... I meant to...
So,
I think I
what'll it
just
be?
didn't craft it, but I meant to craft... Yeah, okay, I just didn't craft it yet. Okay, never mind, we're chilling. Chilling. Eternal blue, ooh. Okay, yeah, so just get the mistletoe.
I'll go with this.
Alright, so now I gotta go save Jeeble, and then, yeah, beat the game. Problem is that, they don't have a lot of mana, so... Yeah, using only Dimension Shift is just annoying, you know? That's because we found Shortcut in the first White Shark check. I'm blaming it on. And we didn't find Invert. Oh yeah, no Invert. It's gonna be a little bit annoying. But we should be fine, because we have a lot of healing.
Dimension shift! 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 Dimension shift!
Oh, this is so awkward. I think I need to do it like this, honestly. This is just more consistent, I think. Come on. Where's the spot?
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Oh, there we go. Okay, that works. Wow. Okay.
Dimension shift!
Setup. I need to see if that's consistent.
Dimension shift!
If it is, then we'll just do that then.
Dimension shift!
That was kind of sick.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Bruh, really?
Dimension shift!
This is why I don't like Dimension Shift as flight.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's so weird.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Yeah, see, why does it do that?
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
I'm gonna have to wait for my mana to come back.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Yo, mana refill? That easy?
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Oh, craft mats. That would have been useful before I spent the alkahest, or spent the time and alkahest on getting mistletoe, but it's okay.
You. Oh. Ah.
Dimension shift!
That's way better. Is that better than the current accessory? I mean, okay, I have Valkyrie Tiara, so it is higher defense, lower luck. That's okay. I'll put on the higher defense.
Dimension shift!
You. Oh. Ah.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Ah.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Come on.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Next time, obey. Ha! Vaiska! Surrender!
Dimension shift!
Come forth, my faithful.
Dimension shift!
Oh my goodness. Oh, am I dead? I might be dead. Did I save? I saved somewhere. Okay, it looks like I saved just before. Alright, good.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Bless
Dimension shift!
I was missing the coyote jump after doing the dimension shift. So,
Dimension
yikes.
shift. Dimension shift.
Next time, obey. Ha!
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
What are we transmuting this time?
Anything good? Not really. Red Beast Edge is okay, but not good enough. Alright. Alright, time to go then. Having only 420 health going into late game is a little bit scary, but we'll be fine. Oh yeah, I should have. I should buy more healing. The potatoes are probably done, right? So yeah, I should definitely get healing. Let's do this first, and then I'll come back.
Curse you.
We'll be harvesting.
What, dude? Is it because I didn't enter enough areas? Probably. Alright, fine. I probably have to just go and Den Behemoths, then Glacial Tomb, then get the Warp, come back. Something like that. Okay. That's Osius.
Dimension shift! 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 Dimension shift!
Okay. I'll just kill the cannons, honestly.
Dimension shift!
Oh my goodness. It was doing that off screen, by the way.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
I love it when it jumps in the air like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna have to eat the rice ball so I don't die next to it. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'll just heal while it's grabbing me, I guess.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, without, like, other, like, white shard movement, like, that behemoth is gross.
Dimension shift!
Oh, 8-bit coin was right there. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's see if those potatoes are ready. What's the turnaround time for submissions? The submissions close November 7th for Back to Black, so I think they're gonna release like the schedule probably next January.
Got any
Something like that.
I've turned up on the monster.
I'm not submitting for AGDQ. I'm gonna submit for SGDQ later, but I just need to prepare the submissions right now so that I can actually, you know,
What
just
are we transmuting this time?
like click some buttons and then paste the link for my video, you know.
Come back.
I need to
if
dismantle,
things start
huh?
to go awry. What are we transmuting this
Fried
time?
potatoes, is that so? Which one do I need to dismantle? Mocha oil? Yep. Where's
What would you like to buy?
Oh, mocha oil is purchasable.
Is it leisure doing business?
I'm not sure if that's all I need, but I might need like flour
So,
too.
what'll
Let's
it
see.
be?
Yeah, I need flour. Okay. That's fine. Flour is easy enough to come by. So I just need 9 outcasts. Meaning I need 5 more.
Oh, what would you like to sell?
What would I like to sell? Okay, I actually don't have things that sell for a lot anymore.
Is it leisure doing
But this should be
business?
enough money
What would you
to
like to buy?
get 5.
Is it leisure doing business?
So, what'll it be?
I'll go with this. I'll go with this.
Oh, what would you like to sell? Is leisure doing business? Is leisure doing business? Call. Is this leisure? Is call. Thank you. Is there you are. Is call. Thank you. Is this leisure? Is it call? That is leisure. Is this leisure? Is leisure doing business? Is call. Thank you. Oh, what would you like to buy? Is there you are.
That should be good enough. I'm definitely gonna need healing because I can't use shards for the seeds clear. No, I mean I could, but let me see. The shards aren't good enough. Like Tepsarend is okay, but it's expensive. I guess we'll see if we get Jeeble's glasses right here. We haven't gotten Jeeble's glasses in a long time. Nope.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Yeah, I'm feeling just okay about this one. Not amazing, but you know, it's okay. We'll do fine. So we don't need Strider Bell anymore. Let's get something that gives damage. Songy Mask. Increases attack bar in proportion to the number of enemies you've slain. I've slain barely any. But I guess oh, this is a defense up. Okay, fine. No, defense is not damage. Defense doesn't do any damage at all. Simply won't get hit. We have a bunch of healing anyway if we get hit, so it's okay. Oh, this is yeah, we need Zunget Stove for this for sure. Yikes. Oh my goodness. I mean, okay, let's see ambivalence, because she is weak to dark, right? That is the whole reason why ambivalence is like not bad. Oh, only 14. Okay, yeah, nah, no way, no way. No way. It's only 14 even with her being weak to dark. That's crazy. Wait, how much attack does... It's just insane, wow. Okay. It's fine, we'll just use Zunget Stove. That is why it is still like that is why it's still fine to like go to end game with this song. It's still in dimension shift because oftentimes it is just your best combat option. I mean, it's not the best by much. Oh, that's so cheap. Scrumptious. Wow, I'm gonna be in the menu so much. No, why did she do that attack? Okay, it's fine. I'll just restart. Dude, I wasn't that far away from her. Come on.
A minor setback.
Maybe I should just use ambivalent still, because like I can be much farther away, even though the DPS is not as high. I mean, is the DPS really that much higher? I don't know. I'm just surprised it's only doing like pitiful damage. Like she's weak to dark. I thought it would do more damage than the base damage, but I guess not. Wow, that hit me. Wow. Wow. Oh, it's gonna take so long. Aren't they stew now? That's so cheap. That's so cheap. No. Oh, it's that attack too. Oh my goodness. This boss sometimes, dude. To be fair, the devs don't expect you to fight it without like all the progression abilities you get in the normal game, so it's not their fault. You know? It's not their fault entirely. These Darden speedrunners, man. Always ruining the game. Oh, I shouldn't have used that. Wow! 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 I'm gonna be in the menu so much. The mix-up, yo. Okay, we'll eventually beat her. Oh, wait. Oh, Bale's gonna be so bad, though. I didn't think about that, but yeah, Bale's gonna be really bad. Yep. She just needed to wait till I landed because I couldn't do anything. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. Oh, okay. Oops. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, she was about to do elbow there, but apparently I interrupted her. Oh, this is bad. Oh, that hit me. Wow. How is she not dead by now, by the way? Oh, yo, didn't get hit? Oh my, dude. Igarashi!
Dimension shift. Fly.
Oh, dude, elbow is like such a crazy move. Like, actually just makes this entire boss like so much harder to deal with. With that one single move. Yeah, this is toast, man. Like, I probably need a purple shard or something. That took forever.
No choice.
That's insane, man. Was that like 10 minutes? Yeah, I mean, I don't even have a game plan for this boss now. Like, it's like, yeah, we beat Dominique, but how do I beat this boss? Okay, I have Tep's Surrender, so hopefully that helps a little bit, but we might be here forever. Okay, how about this? If I die, then we'll just, you know, we'll just call it quits. I probably should just farm for a purple shard, realistically. Because no invert is going to be painful, man. Oh, we got cat first, too. It's just toast. 7 damage! Oh, it's so toast, dude. Yeah, I'll just farm for purple shards, I guess, in like a if this was like the marathon setting, you know. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's like a fighting game character. You're talking about Dominique? Yeah, Dominique is like, definitely like a fighting game character. All right. Yeah, dude. I definitely need like I need actual damage. Like it's just not good enough. Because I'm super low level. I'm level like what 15, I think. 17. Yeah, I'm too low level. Like yeah, usually if you find like go mode pretty early, people just like farm in order to get into good condition. But you know, I was trying to see if ambivalence would be good enough, but definitely not. I can just see if I find a good purple shard for fun or something, and then we'll stop. But this is still good learning session, I guess. Trying to see if there's Jeeple's glasses at that spot. That's not an unusual spot for it to be in.
Oh, what would you like to buy?
Very plausible.
It's pleasure doing business.
Yeah, if there's ambivalence for like the highest tier, I think it would definitely be doable. But the lowest tier, and I don't have the high level, so it's very rough. Not even one-shotting the early game enemies, so that's how you know it's toast.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Circle of the Moon mechanics. Talking about like farming. Gotta have so much fun. What are you playing right now? I'll hop on. If you're playing right now, I'll hop on. The voice call does. Oh, we're gonna play after my stream is done. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically just goofing around. I'll stop shortly. The drop rates are much better in this game, though, so not quite as bad as Circle of the Moon. If you mean like having to farm like enemies, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not like the only way to get stuff. Castlevania actually got it from Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack Ration or Ratios. That's how they made these drop rates in Circle of the Moon. It's definitely, yeah, definitely reminiscent of that, isn't it? Gotcha rates. But yeah, I'll note that for the marathon. Like, even if I have Go mode, I'll still just look for like an in-game shard or like an in-game compatible weapon that's like actually in-game compatible and not like cope. Like this lowest tier ambivalence.
Dimension shift! 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 Dimension shift!
I don't even think this works because of the way the camera is.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
I'm not gaining height, yeah, quickly enough. Yeah. Am I checking locations? I'm looking for like purple shard enemies, so like enemies that drop the shard I'm looking for, basically. But there, I was trying to see if I could like just skip this part of the tower. But yeah, I don't have enough mana. That's the. It just sucks when you have this is your movement dimension shift. Like yes, even though you can technically finish the seed quickly, like it's just still not ideal. So yeah, I'm checking locations, but I'm checking primarily the final enemies that I could potentially get like bonus equipment from, just to be at peace with myself. Bro, come on. You know what, actually? This guy is probably going to drop invert, and if he drops invert, then I'll be content with that. Because that would technically make Veil, like, doable, even with, like, my awful equipment.
Dimension shift! Dimension shift!
Oh?
Be certain to return what you borrow. This is a library, not a bookshop.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Dimension shift.
Okay, invert was there. All right, I'm satisfied with that then. All right. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll work further on the Bloodstained rando for the marathon prep next time, or not next time. Sorry. Next, you know, intermediary between playthrough window. But next time proper, we'll be starting Bastion. So look forward to that. Otherwise, catch you all later. Goodbye.